now we're at the time where the Hamashiach is getting ready to come.
And hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, shalom, ma.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Yashara.
All right, yeah. Shabbat shalom, Israel. I pray that everybody's having a blessed Shabbat here on this wonderful Saturday, right? Saturday according to the heathens.
The Shabbat. That's right. The holy Shabbat. And this day was in the heavens before any man kept it. So, you know, this Shabbat is more ancient than we can ever imagine, to infinity. So, you know, this Shabbat is never going away. Hey, Yashara, I wanted to bring your attention to a couple of, so if you look at the couple of posts in the beginning, I posted, there you go. Thanks, brother. I posted the information for the campgrounds where we're going to be at, or near where we're going to be at. So one is Lake San Antonio, and then the other one is Lake Nacimiento. They're like right across from one another. So the link is there. So if you're interested, they have cabins, what have you. You all have the calendar and everything. So I'm going to be taking the whole Feast of Tabernacles off. So I'll be taking all the 7 days off, of course.
God, I will too as well.
Yeah, and then there's other cabins that's nearby. So that area is like, it's a bunch of cabins. So especially for, you know, the seniors that need more, you know, more things, or, you know, can't really sleep in the tents. You know, the cabins will really be good for you, because they have comfortable beds and what have you. So, and then they all have access to showers and restrooms as well. So just check it out. If you have any questions, just email. You can just email us, and I'll be more than glad to help you out. I'll be back in that area in at the end of June. So if you do reserve something, if you need me to check up on it for you, you know, I can do that as well. But just wanted to put that out there, so y'all have that information. I want to welcome the Brews. I think Eitan is going through. All right, Israel. So, hey, y'all know the title, Social Media and the Digital Demons. We're going to be bringing out some interesting things. You and Brother Eitan got some heavy hitters for you. So before we do that, we're going to go ahead and get in. Heavy hitters, boy. We're going to go ahead and get into our scriptures. Our intro scripture.
All right, we're going to start with the book of Jubilees, right? Start chapter 1, read verse 7. And it says, "And do thou write for thyself all these words which I declare unto thee this day. For I know their rebellion and their stiff neck, before I bring them into the land of which I swear to their fathers, to Abraham and to Isaac and to Jacob, saying, unto your seed will I give a land flowing with milk and honey." You know, still today, we have that same promise that we're going to go into the land flowing with milk and honey, which will be Israel. It'll just be the Israel of the future, right? And we have to keep the laws, right? That's part of being the land. That's one of the stipulations of being in the land of Israel. "And they will eat and be satisfied, and they will turn to strange gods, the gods which cannot deliver them from aught of their tribulation. And this witness shall be heard for a witness against them. For they will forget all my commandments, even all that I command them. And they will walk after the Gentiles, like we're doing right now, following after these damn heathen. And after their uncleanness and after their shame, and will serve their gods, and these will prove unto them an offense, and a tribulation, and an affliction, and a snare. And many will perish, and they will be taken captive, and will fall into the hands of the enemy, because they have forsaken my ordinances and my commandments, and the festivals of my covenant and my Sabbaths, and my holy place, which I have hallowed for myself in their midst, and my tabernacle, and my sanctuary, which I have hallowed for myself in the midst of the land, which I should set my name upon it, that it should dwell there. And they will make to themselves high places and groves and graven images, and they will worship each his own graven image. As to go astray, and they will sacrifice their children to demons and to all the works of the error of their hearts.
All right. Verse 11. And I will send witnesses unto them, that I may witness against them, but will not hear, and will slay the witnesses also, and they will persecute those who seek the law, and they will abrogate and change everything so as to work evil before my eyes. It's just like that today, you know, how, you know, the few that are keeping the laws with all their hearts, mind, and soul, you know, the whole objective to the heathens is to make sure that every law and commandment that the Most High has, that we break. And they do this by pushing homosexuality on our people. They push transgenderism. They push all this stuff, you know, they push pork, everything that's abominable on our people. Because they know that if we get back to these laws, commandments, and statutes, it's over for them. All right, verse 12. And I will hide my face from them, and I will deliver them into the hand of the Gentiles for captivity, and for prey, and for devouring. And I will remove them from the midst of the land, and I will scatter them amongst the Gentiles. This is why the heathens can have their way with us. This is why they can shoot our brothers down in the street and nothing is done. Yeah, our people, you know, they'll get picket signs and march around the blocks and then things die off, but nothing ever gets done, you know, and it's the same thing all over again. And they will forget all my law and all my commandments and all my judgments, and will go astray as to new moons and Shabbats and festivals and jubilees and ordinances, you know. And you have these camps that go off the new moon, and, you know, all kinds of doctrines under the wind, false doctrines. And after this, they will turn to me from amongst the Gentiles with all their heart and with all their soul and with all their strength. And I will gather them from amongst all the Gentiles, and they will seek me, so that I shall be found of them, when they seek me with all their heart and with all their soul. And I will disclose to them abounding peace with righteousness, and I will remove them the plant of uprightness with all my heart and with all my soul. And they shall be for a blessing and not for a curse. And they shall be the head and not the tail. So this is what we got to work towards, Yasharel. And it's going to take, you got to put in the work. And that work is working out your salvation with fear and trembling. The only thing that me and Brother Aton can do is give you the straight up word. But it's you all that got to put in the work. And this is one of the reasons why we're doing this lesson on social media and the digital demons. Why? Because our people spend way too much time looking at all the wrong stuff on social media. And I'm going to give you some examples of what's going on in the direction that we're going on with this. Like our people are always searching for some kind of sign of deliverance. Let me give an example. Like with the eclipse that happened. You know, our people go crazy over that stuff. Remember when the 1619, the 2019 thing was going on? This whole Exodus thing where the curses were supposed to be lifted. Yeah, where the curses were supposed to be lifted in 2019. And you know, Bruce was going crazy over that stuff. You know, and it's like our people are going to these, because anybody can get on social media. All right, any demon, that's why I call it digital demons. Any demons can get on social media with a computer. Don't even have to have a brain. Set up shop and deceive the people. Man, you can tell people anything and they'll believe it. And you know, it's a lot of poisons, and a lot of that's why a lot of demons be jumping on people, because they go into all these sites and they getting all this false doctrine and just going, and they just gone with the wind, you know. But people is not going to get on social media to look at stuff like how to build a shed, or how to build, you know, off-grid home or something like that, you know. And we're not saying that all social media is bad, but the scripture says, study to show yourself approved unto Elohim, a workman that need not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And we got our people on social media searching for everything from A to Z, except for keeping the commandments. It's like our people want a quick delivery. They want a quick fix. And so they're led to follow anybody, anything that sounds exotic, you know. Oh, look at the eclipse, man. The 7 days after this, we're about to go into the Exodus. Oh, the other signs are coming. We getting ready to go home, y'all. We getting ready to go home. You know, you got people out there giving false hopes, but they're not telling our people to keep the commandments. Because at the end of the day, they shut the computer off, and then they go back to eating their whatever pork sandwich, and you know, that's it. That's it. And it's crazy. But like I said, you know, we're not saying that every single thing on social media is poison. There are some things that you can search out, you know, but our people ain't trying to search out stuff like this, how to build off-grid homes, and then when you do see people that's doing this stuff, it's our enemies that's doing this stuff. It's the heathens that are doing this stuff. Man, they're gonna be more prepared than we are. And our people, man, the only thing our people are searching for on social media is twerking, looking for signs of deliverance, looking for dreams, you know, looking for something exotic, man, looking for the hookup culture, looking for gossip. That's what our people are searching for. They're not searching for stuff like this.
That's right.
How to be able to survive, you know, on your own. How to build a house from scratch. How to build a shed from scratch. How to build a greenhouse. Man, I bet if many of our people today, man, especially the younger generation, if they were to get a flat tire on a highway, I guarantee you they would stop on the side of the road and they would make a damn TikTok video on their flat tire. Oh, and then they'll make a prize out of it. Oh, look at this. I got a flat tire on the side of the road. Don't know how to fix it. Then they'll call a tow truck. That's just how delusional people are, man. What you got on that out?
Man, you know, it's the same old. You know, the scriptures always say that the commandments are a light. You know, a lot of our people, right, they have questions about how to go through life, right? The easiest way for any one of our people to be able to live righteously is to, you know, like the scriptures talk about having a foundation, right? You know, about how these different foundations were built upon sandy ground and some on stony ground, you know, and then the ground that was but the final foundation that it really talks about in the scriptures, what all this equates to, is the laws, statutes, and commandments, and what the scriptures say. So like whenever I'm in the world, right, or like whenever I'm listening to something on television, or you know, if I'm like looking at social media or whatever the case may be, right, all my actions, right, are brought forth from the commandments. Like I look at this and I'm like, well, you know, I know this is wicked. You know, let me not pay no attention to that. Or I see this is going on right here. I understand from reading the scriptures, you know, from the foundation, that this can't be true, you know, or this is not the cause of this. You know what I'm saying? And that right there will help you move through life with clarity, right? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of our people, they feel like they have a void in their lives, right? They don't really truly understand what's going on. But then when you really come to the knowledge of the truth and have a foundation of the scriptures, everything starts to become clear, right? Because the scriptures always says that the fear of God is the beginning of knowledge. And without fearing the Lord, which is what? Obeying, you know, like disobeying and not keeping the commandments, you're not going to know what's going on around you. You're not going to know how to behave, you know, what to do, what not to do, you know, things of this nature. You don't really understand of how clean you feel until you start keeping the laws, right? Keeping the dietary law, right? Keeping the feast days. All these things come into a play when you're able to judge the world around you and you're understanding that, okay, you know, this has really cleaned up my spirit. Like right now, if you're not keeping the laws, you're not going to understand what I'm talking about because you don't keep the laws. The Most High, he gives you the law, statutes, and commandments for you to become a God. That's what the whole thing is, right? The laws are the same thing that the Most High goes by. Those are the laws. That's how you become a God. You get the spiritual body and you live forever.
You know what's interesting about that, man? Because you don't see too many people, and I'm not trying to brag or anything like that or put me and Brother Aton on a pedestal. But a lot of our people, are searching these. That's why we call it social media and the digital demons. You don't see a lot of people out there that's really, they may talk about or they may mention the law, but they don't tell you, they don't break it down like me and Brother Aton do, to show you for reasons keep the laws, how do you keep the laws, and why you need to keep the laws. Basically, what you see is a lot of feel good stuff. As brother put something in the comment that said that people just go with what feels good or what sounds good. There's a lot of stuff that sounds good out there on social media. You know, who I mean, who wouldn't want to know some gossip about the eclipse? That sounds good because it's like, oh man, the sun crossed over to an X now, and now man, things are happening, and but things have been happening all along. You know, it's that illusion that creates that false hope, you know, that people have. And here's the problem. The laws are not even expounded on, and we're talking about other brews that are putting this stuff out. I'm not talking about just the heathens. No, we don't care about the heathens.
God.
But the brews are putting this stuff out. And when they were putting out that 1619 to 2019, nobody was talking about keeping the laws. Everybody was getting ready to electric slide into the kingdom.
God.
You know, it don't work like that. Bring it out, Doc.
You know, when you look on social media, right, there's a plethora of things that you like, a topics, sources that you can go to talk about different things. I mean, you know, you get on there, they'll talk about the book of Thoth, or you know, they'll talk about all these different you know, these different religions, sects and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That'll have you interested, right? That'll have you ready to tune in and then, you know, see what you're talking about. Next thing you know, you're going down the dark hole of you know, I'm being comedic and I'm a damn you know, hotep, you know, and all of this nonsense, right? That's what you're saying. That's what ends up happening, right? Because you don't have a foundation. You don't have a foundation of the scriptures, right? The scriptures, you know, because a lot of, you know what I'm saying, especially for our children, right? Now, this is how these wild ideas are starting to come to fruition. It's through the mass production of social media. Everybody has a phone. Everybody's child has a phone, and they're looking at these programs, and you know, they're called programs for a reason, because they're trying to program us. They take you away from the reality of God's you know, of the earth that he created, right? The clouds in the sky, and they want you to tune in digitally, right? More than you can tune in to what the reality is that's around you. Therefore, you'll be susceptible to be tricked, right? They can tell you that, oh, you know, hey man, you know, the earth is round, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? You know, they can just tell you all kinds of stuff, and then you'll be liable to believe it because, you know, instead of going outside and experiencing what the Most High has put for you, you know, put for you here, you are locked away behind the screen, right? The scriptures say in the book of Psalms, chapter 11, it says, "In the Lord put I my trust. How say ye to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain? For lo, the wicked bend their bow, they make ready their arrow upon the string, that they may privily shoot at the upright in heart." Privily means privately, right? You see how these heathens are attacking you, right? Through social, everything looks innocent, but it's not. Everything looks innocent, but it's not. You see how Disney and these other organizations, they prey on children. They have these secret signs that they try to show you, you know, when you are watching the videos and all of these things. As a matter of fact, I got a video I'm gonna show you that's talking about that for a little bit, right? You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say that they privily shoot at the upright in heart. They know that you're upright and they hate that you shine in the darkness, right? Because if you ever see, right, something that's in the dark, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why the scriptures say that the commandments are a light to us, right? Because, right, if you ever see something in the dark, like a candle, right? You know what I'm saying? Like a candle, right? And it's blowing in the dark, right? This is why the commandments are a light, because everything else around you is a darkness. You don't know which way is up, which way is down. You don't know anything. But if you have a light in front of you, which is the laws, the statutes, and commandments, it is able to guide you, right? It'll be able to keep you away from the things that are in the dark that you can't see. But if a lot of our people, like, they don't truly understand what this, you know what I'm saying, that the scriptures, right, are there for our learning. So we don't get trapped off, right, in these things that are, you know, frivolous, that the Most High, you know what I'm saying, just put there for a game, you know, for those that are not chosen, You're not going to get it. Getting the spiritual body is not going to be easy. The Most High, he has to supply you with life for eternity. You think that's you think that's the Most High God has had to do that. You got to earn that. It ain't easy. It says, if the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do? Right? But the foundations can never be destroyed, because that is the law, statutes, and commandments. It says, the Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyelids try the children of men. Right? His eyelids try the children of men. Like I said before, it's not going to be easy for you to get a spiritual body. The Most High's got to make sure that you're down for him. It's just like anything. When you go out to try out for a football team or a basketball team, right? You got to show that you're the best. You got to show that you're a team player. You got to show that you're there, that you're going to show up. It's the same thing with the scriptures, right? Faith without works is dead. The Lord trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth. The Lord trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire, and brimstone, and in horrible tempests, for this shall be the portion of their cup. For the righteous Lord loveth righteousness. His countenance doth behold the upright. So this goes to show you that no matter what is going on around you, right? The Most High, he is not going to requite the wicked. They're going to get what they reap. They're going to reap what they sow. The Most High is not going to just let the wicked get away. This is why it behooves you to obey God, because in the end, there is a reward for you. And what world, right, and what existence is there going to be where doing right is not going to benefit you? That's not that's not what we live in. That's not the type of world that we live in. Luckily enough that our people, we're the only ones on the earth that actually have a God. A God that has prophecies in the scriptures that has been fulfilled, that we know that even one prophecy being fulfilled is like winning a lottery. I think that the scriptures has 31 prophecies or something like that fulfilled, which is, beyond belief. So you know that our God is real. This is why every other nation on the earth knows about Yahweh, whether they call him Yahweh or whatever the case may be, but they know about the God of the Hebrews.
Facts. That's amazing, y'all. And you can't get away with it. And it's like it says in Ecclesiasticus 23, it says that the Most High's eyes are 10 times brighter than the sun. He sees everything. So nothing we do can escape. And, and when we're talking about social media and the digital demons, don't think that whatever we start to peruse or browse like that and we accept as doctrines, don't think that that's not being taken accounted into. This is why we must test the spirits. Just like it says in the scriptures, 1 John 4:1, it says, "Beloved, believe not every ruach or spirit, but try the ruach, whether they are of Elohim, because many false prophets are gone out into the world." This is why we call it the digital demons, because you have a lot of demons out there, and I'm talking about our people, that are misleading our people. They just putting anything out there. All they're trying to do is get paid. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. They don't care who they hurt. How they hurt you. They just trying to get a little check. So they'll put anything on social media. And me and Brother Aton was talking earlier. How a lot of our people are putting PayPals and stuff on their channels to give you which you can already have access to read in the scriptures. Like how you gonna charge people money for something that you already have access to? But that's the world we live in, in this social media world. And people don't believe. Who was it? Was it? It was some of the disciples. It was the wicked disciples. Remember when them demons, man? They were like, "We know Peter. We know the apostles, but we don't know you." And them demons jumped on them.
yeah, beat them butt naked out the house.
Yeah, exactly. Because like Brother Aton said earlier, see, our people, if you don't have a foundation if you don't have a foundation, you'll fall for anything. And that's why a lot of our people be falling for these eclipses, and especially when and they can read. We can show them 1,000 times in Isaiah chapter 10 that it says that follow not the way of the heathens, nor be amazed at the signs of heaven. We can show people that 1,000 times, but then our people will still search out for some signs of deliverance or some dream or something some woman had, and then they'll count that as true, and they end up being deceived every time. So it's like our people have a serious complex, a problem where we're constantly searching for stuff. We're searching for everything, but on how to keep the commandments.
God.
And like the brother said in the comment, there's no way around it. At the end of the day, that's what it's going to boil down to. Hey, I want to show something right quick. This is kind of like a funny moment. You know how people be like stuck on social media all the time, man, while they walking.
Yeah,
and they be having these accidents and stuff, man. I just
bring it out.
I want to show a couple of clips right quick because I seen stuff like this firsthand happen, man. I'm sure Brother Aton has been on the road, man, and he's seen people on their phones stuck in social media, man, about to cause a doggone accident or something. Let me show you this, man. This stuff is funny. I don't know if YouTube will let me. And put this all right, can y'all see that? Can you see that up?
I can see it.
Okay, let me rewind a little bit. All right, just check. There's some clips, man, of people just going about their day lives, man. They stuck on the phone and stuff, and they having these accidents. She ran to the door.
Come on, man.
Damn.
Oh no.
That's what I'm talking about, y'all. Oh man. Not paying attention, man. On them damn social media and the digital demons.
Hey, but that's a damn shame though. When you really sit back and think about it, man. Right? This is something I want to talk about. It says Proverbs 6:23. I know you guys know this scripture is pretty good. It says, for the commandment is a lamp, and the law is a light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. So it is pretty much telling you there's flat out that obeying and keeping the law, statutes, or commandments, right? Having that as your foundation, it'll teach you how to proceed through life. This video I want to bring out. I'm going to show you something, right? That's Epstein Island right there. It's not a Nickelodeon.
All right.
They're all see, right? And a lot of our, there's a lot of our people too, right? We let our children watch this stuff. You know what I'm saying? We just, we don't even know what's going on in the background, but they're secretly, got signs of Satan, right? And all kinds of, demonic influential stuff that they try to portray, especially on the young minds, right? Especially on our children, especially as you see how they're trying to break down the family unit and this, that, and the third, right? This modern day, and now they're coming up with these AI machines and stuff, right? So you think the digital age right now as bad as it is, just wait till they start, having these things are autonomous, right? Damn near every show you got, say if you get on Facebook nowadays or you get on anything, it's nothing but, pornography, you know what I'm saying? Whores online selling themselves and, just all kinds of stuff that is just ridiculous, right? That's how they try to suck your soul into into these things, right? They have you competing in an imaginary universe, have you posting online and doing all kinds of things for the dopamine rush of likes. The only way that a person can get tricked by these things is because they don't understand that the scriptures, right? That the scriptures are the ways of life. It says, and the reproofs of the instruction are the way of life. I mean, like, man, you really can't get much clearer than that. And then, Brother Daniel and myself, we're going to come up with inventive ways every week, week in and week out to, beat in your head, right? And for y'all to be able to get these instructions to beat in your neighbor's head and your sons and your daughters' heads, that we have to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments if we want to make it, right? It's not a bad thing to treat your brother like you want to treat yourself, right? It's not a bad thing to publicly denounce homosexuality and anything that goes against the scriptures, right? Whoredom, any of these things, right? By us keeping the laws, right? It's not cool. You shouldn't, you shouldn't be on social media and the short of the girl with the big booty comes on there and then you give it a like. What you doing, brother? You know what I mean? You are influencing these types of behaviors. The digital demon, right? It is a culmination of thirsty, wicked people because they think that they can hide behind the screen. You don't see who they are, right? So they are developed, they devolve into their base selves, right? They let their base emotions show, things that you normally wouldn't do. They're online doing it because they think they're safe because they're behind the screen. A lot of these people, they're sold for likes.
Going back to what Brother Aton said earlier, or the video that Brother Aton showed, you got to understand this whole thing this is why we called it social media and the digital demons, because it's more than just the social media itself. It's the people that's behind it, the dark government that's using it as a tool to put all these demons out here. Because think about it. What is the one way that they can control the mass population? It's through social media. Social media has become the new mass production control. People can use it to bully one another. People can use it to try to hurt other people's channels, what have you. So you got to understand, man, like the tactics behind this thing. When these heathens sat down at their think tanks and let's see how we can turn this social media and use it to our advantage to control the minds of the people, because they know the government well knows how the human psyche works. They know what we like. They know what makes us tick. They know that what gets us aroused. All right. And social media is the perfect platform for that. Now, we know that TikTok was invented. It's a Chinese company. And y'all know TikTok, and you can search this out too. But TikTok in China, you don't see all this stuff you see in America on TikTok. I had to get rid of TikTok a long time ago.
That's right.
Like TikTok, you'll see stupid ass people just doing stuff, and it'd be our people. It'd be Israel on there just doing stupid stuff. You won't see them on there, teaching young girls how to cook. You won't see them on there, teaching the young brothers, how to be a man. You won't see none of that stuff. All you see is twerking and stupidity, just trying to get views. But the TikTok in China, they don't do all that stuff. They show wholesome stuff. They show productive stuff. And if you even look at their education system, they have strict ways of governing their children. They don't just expose them to all kinds of wickedness and all that kind of stuff. And so this is what you got to understand. Social media is a tool to control the minds. All right. Think of it as the knowledge of the tree and the tree of good and bad, or good and evil. If I took a big cold glass of water, fresh water, let's say we took it out of a fresh spring, unfiltered, no toxins, and I just put like a drop of poison in it, would you still drink that water? Of course y'all wouldn't drink it. Even if it's one drop of poison, you wouldn't drink it.
That's
The
right.
less likely of that killing you. Yeah, but at the same time, you will not drink it, even if you knew it wouldn't kill you. But that social media is the same way, y'all. It really is, and it's like it's bringing our people to a slow death. Now you may say, well, okay, well if that's the case, then why are you brothers on social media then? How come y'all doing videos on social media? Because we know that there's we know that this work, that this truth is not for the masses. It's going to only be for the very few. So we're not trying to reach the masses. We're just trying to do the best we can to reach the few.
Let me
All
expound on that a little bit too, brother, if you don't mind, right?
Yeah.
Another reason too is that the truth is out here.
Mm-hmm.
The main thing with social media is that somebody will watch something on social media and they'll believe it without doing a lick of research.
Yep.
But when Brother Daniel and myself, we come on this the live, right, every Shabbat to give you guys a lesson, we pray and hope that you go back over the same scriptures that we gave you, that you go and you spend time, because it is the Shabbat, it is the Sabbath, that you spend time in the Word and you go back and you check out and see whether or not what we're saying to be true. Because if not, you can't put your soul in my hands. I got to worry about my own soul. You know, I got to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing through fear and trembling. Right? I can't put my hope in man. Sure, you can take the information that Brother Daniel and myself we give you, right? But I hope that you would also go to the scriptures, especially you men, you brothers, especially you brothers that's supposed to be ahead of you households, that you can teach your sisters. I'm supposed to be taking this knowledge and studying it for yourself. If you see something that's wrong with it, hey, like we always say, Brother Daniel and myself, we have no problem with you, getting on the live and asking questions or, emailing us or whatever the case may be. Right, because we're all here to get to the kingdom, right? We all have the same goal at hand, and that's to get to the kingdom. If you have any other goal, dissension, trying to destroy brothers, or any kind of wickedness, or whatever the case may be, that's not what we're here about. We're trying to get to the end goal, right? Just like two old married people that are trying to get to their golden years, we're trying to get to the kingdom.
That's right. And at the end of the day, y'all, just like Brother was saying, and we say all the time, we can give this information to you. We go through scriptures. That's all we do is go through scriptures. All right. But sometimes it's like, hey, you got to put in the work. At the end of the day, we all do. And I'll put it this way. If you're, I'm not saying that accusing you all or anything like that. I'm just saying that if you're the type of person that's just sitting back eating popcorn on every lesson, you sitting in there drinking Kool-Aid and stuff like that, you ain't even open up the scriptures. You might as well not even be on might as well not even be on. Just get off, because it's an insult to the Most High.
Right.
You have brothers on here that's grinding in the scriptures, and people sitting out there drinking Kool-Aid and eating popcorn.
That's right.
Or the
That's
lesser
right.
way is supposed to be open up the scriptures, and again, work out your salvation with fear and trembling, because we're not your salvation. Look, we're trying to make the kingdom just like you all are. All right, so that means that Brother Aton, he has to work out his salvation with fear and trembling. I have to work out my salvation with fear and trembling. We can encourage one another. We can pray for one another. But at the end of the day, I cannot save Brother Aton. I don't have that power. You cannot save yourselves. But you can work out your salvation with fear and trembling. Keep these commandments. And that's how we do it, because we don't know when our time clock is. Only the Most High knows when our time clock. And trust me, everybody has a time clock, whether you realize it or not. We're going to leave this earth at some point or another. All right, whether if something happens or some ailment or we just pass away peacefully in old age, we don't know.
Come, bring it out.
Yep. So and this is why we ask you to share these things. But at the same time, I think this is why we do this, so that you can all be trained up and y'all gonna be scriptured up, so that way y'all can take the battle. Y'all can take the battle to the fields.
That's the goal, man.
Yeah.
Bring the scripture out, right? Psalms chapter 119. We're gonna start at verse 63. Right, like I say, this is going by this book right here, going by the scriptures. This is the way it teaches you on how to live your life properly, right? It says, I am a companion of all of them that fear thee, and of them that keep thy precepts. Right, so that means that the ones that are not obeying the Most High God, man, he's not cool with them. Right, a lot of us, we have people in our lives, right? You're you know what I'm saying, you're subbed to these channels, right, that don't keep the precepts, right? That you know, when you hear them talk, they talk about worldly views, right? The views are worldly, right? You're not doing it for no research or anything like that. You're just doing it for the pure love of the world, right? But the scriptures tell you that you're not supposed to keep any companions of those type of situations, online or whether it be in person. The earth, O Lord, is full of thy mercy. Teach me thy statutes. Thou hast dwelt well with thy servant, O Lord. Right? You want to make sure that the Most High is dwelling well with you, right? According unto thy word, teach me good judgment and knowledge, for I have believed thy commandments. Before I was afflicted, I went astray, but now I have kept thy word. Thou art good and doest good. Teach me thy statutes. And that's what the scriptures are here for, right? To learn the statutes, to learn the laws, to learn how to traverse this existence that you're on. There's all kinds of obstacles in the way as you go out through the scriptures, right? As you go out through the world, there's all kinds of obstacles, no matter where you look at, in your workplace, the supermarket, the shoe store, and especially online, Like we just showed you the video, right? When we had, you know, we had all of these things that were going on in the background, right? These, you know, these are the things that are, oh, let me see, where's that window at? Slovakia. I'll pull it up in a minute, right? But those things, they are also played in the backup, you know, through the commercials that you see. You know what I'm saying? These things are like subliminal messages, right? They're like subliminal messages, and then like a lot of our people, right? They don't even know. They don't even understand what's going on, right? It's nothing but subliminal messages in the background, and these are the things that the movie stars, right, and the people that you see on social media, these are the things that what they want you to gear to. Sure, man. Hey, they want you to go up on social media and watch, you know, Nickelodeon for free. Right. Last time I saw something on that, I saw they was trying to make Grover gay or something like that. You know what I'm saying? One of the Muppets or you know, one of those things from Sesame Street. Doing all kinds of stuff behind your back that you don't know about. Right, man. These heathens are, you know, they're destitute at the end of the day. They're spiritually destitute. And what they want to do is not good. They break the law constantly in front of your face.
Yeah. And it also desensitizes our people. That's the whole purpose. Those subliminal messages, what it does, it goes into your subconscious minds, and it's like it makes you less tolerant, or more and more tolerant to wickedness. In other words, you won't speak out against wickedness because you become so immune to the subliminal messages they put out on social media that you don't even question anymore. You're so caught up into it now. You're watching all these hookup culture and lesbianisms and all that kind of stuff, and it starts to sound kind of good to you because our people are so caught up in that stuff. I've known, I'm a real talk, y'all. I've known people that I grew up with that I would never thought that they would turn the other way. I'm talking about brothers turn to punks. Like I would have never thought in 1,000 years that these certain brothers would never. That's hardcore, man. I would never thought they would turn into punks. I mean, it's crazy. When you don't got no foundation, you are a target for Satan. And then it don't help when our people go on to these social medias and they looking at everything from A to Z, and you got these spirits hopping on you, and then they putting all these subliminal messages in you. It's already desensitized your mind. You're hooked. You've already been possessed. That's why I believe a lot of these sisters are acting the way they do, because a lot of them are possessed, just gone crazy.
Man, you know, a lot of stuff too on social media y'all see nowadays are like skits. Like it's hard to decipher you know, what's real from what's fake. Like, so you see also like a lot of these shorts that you see that people have on there, you don't know what's real and what's fake really. A lot, you know what I'm saying? As someone that doesn't have a sharp ability of discernment, man, you might think something is real that's not. Right? And then how do you come to the ability to tell the difference between things that are real and things that are fake? It always goes back to the beginning of keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, right? Having the foundation of the scriptures, right? Because if you don't have the foundation of the scriptures, you're going to be able to look at something, right? And then you're not going to be able to tell the difference between what's real and what's fake. They got deep fake things going on now, right? That you know, you can have men that are looking like women. You know, this AI technology is crazy, right? But see, if you know the scriptures, right? The scriptures will tell you to study the countenance of men. So you would know whether or not that's a man or a woman, because the scriptures has already trained you up and showed you what to do. These are little nuances and things like that you're supposed to learn when you're reading the scriptures with understanding. Because right. God is giving you what you need to get through this life on earth. You can't be a slouch, right? You know what I mean? You got to think about it, right? The Most High, you see that he's an elitist. Right, he wants the cream of the crop, the top of the top, the 144,000 kings that's going to help him rule over the earth. Right, I mean, like, y'all got to think about that, Israel, for a second. Right, 144,000 men that's going to get their spiritual bodies ahead of time.
Yeah, and social media,
all because they kept the commandments, all because they obeyed the law, statutes, and commandments to the fullest. And the Most High said, you know what, here, you're worthy. Boom, you don't even got to go through Judgment Day. Let me go ahead and hook you over to spiritual body, a rulership over 10 cities, and some slaves. Let's get it popping.
Yeah.
And a lot of our people don't want that.
Too. Yeah, speaking of laziness, social media, I think, has really contributed to 90% of the laziness of our people. When you really think about it, because you don't have to do any work, you know, you just pop in and go look at something, you know, and that's how Satan works. You know, he'll make sure that wickedness is for free, but it ain't really for free, because at the end of the day, if you ain't repented, you don't have no foundation, it's going to cause you to go to the lake. So it's going to come with a price, regardless.
Everybody, y'all know what money has problems.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know what money, I mean, like, as you see these people that don't keep the commandments and they have, you know, a buttloads of money, they always have problems. They're in the court for some kind of settlement. Somebody's always suing them. It's always some situation. They're never living peacefully, right? Because of ill-gotten gains, you're never going to be able to sit back and then, you know, reap the rewards in peace, because that's not how it happens. That only happens at the behest of God. And even God himself, you know, the Most High, he can take that away from you, like he did Job. You know, he got to test you out every now and then. Oh, you know, I gave this nigga all these riches. You know, I hooked him up. You know, I made sure that he had a nice plush life. You know what I mean? You know, rich, you know, beautiful sons and daughters, a beautiful wife, man, lots of land, you know, slaves and servants. You know, he hooked him up, but he had to try him out though. Yeah. You know, because he was just minding his own business. You know, it was Hamashiach that brought it up, right? It was, you know, it wasn't even, you know, Satan that brought up what Job was doing. Hamashiach was like, you know, hey man, have you seen Job? You know, Job's like, what the hell? Hey, what I do? And all of a sudden he was on the test. The same thing can be like that, though. You saw the great reward that it received at the end for keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, for never doubting the Most High, because the Most High is justice at the end. He's the true judge he's the true arbiter of justice. He's the true arbiter of wisdom. You do what you're supposed to, you will be rewarded.
And this is no brainer, and this is something that this is nothing new under the sun. It's something we tell you all the time. I mean, I know we repeat a lot of the stuff that we tell you. I mean, it's common sense. And bottom line is getting back to the laws, commandments, and statutes. And one day maybe our people will see it. Maybe they'll finally realize. I don't know. I think collectively is a lot of our people are unfortunately not going to make it, because when you're so caught up in this culture, and you're so busy, it's not only the social media and the digital demons bad enough, but then you got our people who are so glued and sucking all the gravy they can out of their enemies behind, just sucking all the gravy out. And they don't even complain about the taste anymore. It's like they've gotten immune to it. And if you say anything against their masters, they'll fight you for it. Just like the slavery of old, when Nat Turner rose up, the only reason why he wasn't successful is because you had too many coons. You had too many coons that was too busy sucking the gravy out their slave masters behind.
Like I said,
they didn't want to
complain about the taste no more.
They don't. That's the problem. That's where we are right now with the heathens and our people. If you look at our people and you look at the way they talk, look at the way they act, they sound just like the heathens. In every way. It's scary. There was a man, I wish I could have showed. I wish we had time to show you the whole documentary, but it was this one brother. It's titled "We Have Become Them," and what he said, man, was just some facts, man. Like, it was just straight up facts. Everything that the scripture backs up. Maybe I can do a post and put the link in a post one day, and just you guys can look at it that way. But man, it was profound. But we have become them, because we've got to the point where we try to make ourselves less threatening, so that we can look less threatening to them, when they're the most dangerous people on the earth. When they're most destructive, they're beast. That's their nature. They're not going. Look, the scripture don't lie. The scripture says that we will be hated by every nation.
And you know what, another reason why we have become them is because we don't have a foundation as a people.
Yeah.
Like, everything that our people learn, and we say this all the time, right? Everything that they know, right? Everything that everything that our people know has been given to us. Like, you don't know your customs of your people. You don't know the language of your people. You don't even know who your own name is. Right now, right? It's the Most High that's keeping up with you are who your father is, right? As far as the Israelite tribes are concerned. You don't know what tribe your father was from. Your father don't know what tribe he was from. But, somewhere down the line, the Most High knows what tribe you're from, because he's keeping up from where your father has been.
That's right.
So Israel, it's just, hold up. Let me read this, right? Romans chapter 12. It says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, right? Separate, means not doing what these heathens do. Acceptable unto the Lord, because that's the only way you're going to be acceptable to the Most High, right? You got to abandon these culture that these heathens has set forth before us, that we have openly accepted, like Brother Daniel was saying, licking up the gravy from their booty holes, right? Man, it's just absolutely wicked. Hey, man, they gave you 4th of July. You were still getting your back beat in 1776. They gave you Christmas. They gave you Thanksgiving. Right, they gave you all these President's Day and Martin Luther King Day, and all these days they keep giving you, but you keep going out there and just celebrating them. Right, they show it to you on social media. These days are coming up, the holidays. Get with your families. They sell it real good to you, and you just love it. It says holy, acceptable unto God, which means we got to keep the law, the holy days, and that nature, which is your reasonable service. So that means right now we are being unreasonable. We're being unreasonable to God. God doesn't understand why we're doing this, because we're being unreasonable. Of course he understands, but I'm saying that, we're being unreasonable in God's eyes. After all, he is trying to teach us how to be a God. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. The renewing of your mind. That means that what? The Most High, he already knows. He's already seen the future and knows that, hey, guess what? You're going to be in the land of your captives. You're going to be in the land of your captivity, the land of your enemy, and you're going to have a culture that's been thrown upon you. But guess what? I'm going to give you this book right here. This book right here is going to set you right. It's going to give you a foundation. It's going to show you who you are. It's going to teach you what days to follow, right? What days to take off from work, what days to celebrate, what days to get together with your peoples, right? How to treat your brother, how to treat your, you know what I'm saying? How to get together in the land of your enemies and plot and get something, right? How not to stand out, how not to get shot by the police. The Most High God, man, he got a whole manual for you, right? How to keep your marriage going, how the daughters don't get, bogged down with trauma, and now they don't need no man, right?
We got a whole blueprint. You read the first 5 books, man. We got the whole blueprint, boy.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't
so
follow
you have
it,
to
though.
conform your mind, renew your mind. That means you have to have a whole new thinking than what you have right now, and that's not easy, especially if you've been programmed.
Hey, hold on for a minute. Speaking of that, hey, somebody asked about the digital copy of the 613 laws. Whoever that was, just email us at the Mind of the Brotherhood, and I'll make sure you get a copy of that. We got a digital copy. Yep.
Con.
I'm going to throw that out before I forget.
You know what though? An easy way, right, for everybody to keep the laws, right? I'm gonna tell you just a simple way. All you have to do is just figure out what the feast days are. You got the calendar for that, right? Figure out what you don't want to eat. We can go to what you're not supposed to be eating, and that's Leviticus. Holy days, the dietary law, and then after that, just treat your brother like you want to be treated. That's it. And hey, you'll have all of them down pat. You have them all of them locked in. I promise you. You'll have the laws. They'll automatically fall into place if you do that.
Look at this. I'm gonna show y'all something. Can you see it on the screen now?
Con.
All right, Yasharel, look. This is why we have the precepts. Now, each month we have precepts by these, all right, so that you can study. And I'll go ahead and put this out there. I'm not gonna mention no names, but we've had a few people ask us how to keep the new moon and a certain feast day when they've been with us for all this time. So this is why we have this, so that you all can just go and study. You got to put the work in. All right. I think what our people are so used to is that they're used to being so spoon-fed that they don't want to just go and research and put the work. They don't want to lift the fingers. It just takes a little work. That's it. But this is why we put the precepts. Nobody else that I know of, I have not seen it out there yet, that's putting in the work like we do it. They're putting their work and showing their work in the calendar. All right. Everybody else is just throwing you calendars, and they don't show you how they got the days, and they charging you money for it. Charging you for wickedness. So as you go through each month, all right, we're talking about studying laws. If you want something simple, start with the calendar. All right. We have precepts all through here. We even have the names of the different moons that brings in the different seasons. I mean, it's really simple all through. And then we got, of course, the 7th month, we're going to have our Sukkot in Cali. So, you have everything at your fingertips. And I think maybe that's the problem. We have too much at our fingertips. And it's making our people lethargic.
And you shouldn't be, because we've already done all the work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we literally done all the work for you, Israel. Like, man, these are the same scriptures that Brother Daniel and myself we've learned from. Right? We're gonna give you the same scriptures that we've learned, Tom. We put it on there, and it tells you how to keep every feast day in the scripture. It's not like me and Brother Dan, we just pulling this out of thin air and we're telling you how to keep it. No, it's in the scriptures. That's how we know how to do it. Right? We know how to set up the calendar because it's in the scriptures on how to build a calendar. Right? These things are in the scriptures. Right? We've done 90% of the work for you guys, right? So the only thing that we need, for Israel to do is to do the other 10%, right? If you have a question about something, first, at least please read first and see if you can't gain the understanding by yourself, right? Because just like when you're at school or whatever, you're taking tests, and you always have to take the test by yourself, right? You have to read the information and you have to understand it for yourself, right? Of course, you can ask the teacher what it is, but at the end of the day, you have to end up reading the book. Brother
That's
Daniel?
it. No, that's it. And do that. It's just gonna take practice. And every day, Brother Aton is going through the scriptures. Every day I'm going through the scriptures in my mind. All that stuff. It's rehearsal, y'all. That's all it's about. It's like with anything you do, you got to practice to get good at it. If you're just coming on here once a week and then you don't listen to what we're saying, and then the rest of the week you're not even cracking open the scriptures, then you're not gaining anything. Then you're gonna forget. You're not gonna remember. And that people do that. They just come on here once a week just to get the message, and then they're searching everything else on social media but the truth, and they're not even bothering to follow up and to really study, build your own precept. Like how many y'all got? Whether you have them on your digital notebooks or whatever, how many y'all got precepts and palm precepts built up already? How many of you all can say, like with an open with a honest heart, say that I got a booklet or I got whatever, whether you keep it in your computer, your iPad, your phones, I got all notes, I got precept upon precepts that I can go back and reference and study. How many people can say that actually? You know what I'm saying? You don't have to, but ask yourself that question. All right. Me and Brother Aton, man, we have bukus and bukus of notes. He has them on his phone, on his computer, on paper. I got them on paper. I got them on my phone. I got it in my head because we're constantly regurgitating these scriptures in our head. You have to every day. Of course you can't. I'm not saying take out the Bible and read it while you're working, doing your job, of course. But you can quote those scriptures in your mind. When you learn these scriptures, you got to learn the scriptures and start quoting them in your head. That's how you remember them. And then what you do is when you start quoting these scriptures in your head, you start burning like a little groove in your brain. And what that does is that you're building a pattern. So the more that you start quoting these scriptures in your head, you're going to bring it up. It's possible to memorize the whole Bible. You could probably memorize the whole Bible if you worked. And that's something I've been working on. I want to be able to memorize the whole Bible. Or if not memorize the whole Bible, to be able to just reference things on the fly, which I believe that me and Brother Aton are pretty advanced up there that we can do. We can just recall scriptures right from the top of our heads, at least for the most part. All right, because we're still learning, we're still studying and everything, but that's how you do it. You just have to constantly regurgitate those. It's all about in your thoughts. What are you thinking on a daily basis? And we have to. What's one more thing? And we have to train our minds. It's hard. It's hard work because your thoughts will drift from time to time. I ain't gonna lie. There's been times when my thoughts has drifted, but then you have to remind yourself and get your mindset back on that mode on the scriptures. Yep.
I was just just thumbing through. Like this is just some of my notes, right? This is just some of my notes, right? I got notes on all the scriptures that I study. But this is just goes to show, like, this is the type of stuff that you must read in order to be able to fight off these evil spirits. Like without knowing the scriptures like that, you're not gonna understand, right? Brother Daniel and I, man, when we get on here, man, we really be going through the scriptures. We don't play. I just went down the line and showed you thousands of verses that were saved. Brother Daniel has flip cards and stuff that he has.
Oh yeah, I got all kinds of stuff
that he goes through.
Yeah.
Right? Because like these things you need to know in case when you come up against a situation in the world. This is why you must learn these things for your learning. Like you're not gonna all of a sudden, as soon as you come up into a situation, gonna have to all of a sudden run back to the Bible and then see what to do. Right? You're supposed to have these things memorized. So that way, however you transform your life, whatever situation you come up with, you can be like, oh yeah, that's right. I remember when Brother Paul was talking about this same situation. I know how to avoid this. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember when Isaiah was talking about this. Oh yeah, I remember the law saying that I need to do this for my brother. Or I remember this, or I know this, right? Because that's the foundation of how you move through the world.
No, and it is no joke, y'all. And again, and I see some that says they had a flash, had the flashcard. Yep, I have that flashcard app. Yep, and I have it on paper too. Like I have it not just on digits, but I have it on paper because you can lose your phone, you can lose your computer, whatever. But the best place to have it is in your head, because that is the one place that no one can take from you, unless you're get taken away. But other than that, if you have it in your head, man, that is the best tool. And that's why you put it on paper, so that you can constantly put it in your head and rehearse these scriptures, man. I'm constantly every day, me and Brother Aton are going over these scriptures. And that's how you purify your thoughts too. That's how you are able to make your thoughts stronger to avoid temptation.
That's right.
That's
right. Writing scriptures down helps with remembering them. That's a good thing, Brother Lawrence. That's true. I don't know how much more Brother Daniel has, right? But I'm gonna read this scripture right here because this is,
Bring it out.
and then I'm gonna let Brother Daniel take us on out of here. All right. It says, and this is one of my favorite scriptures, actually. This is my favorite scripture, actually. It says Jeremiah 17. Starts chapter 5. It says, verse 5. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord." Right. This is why, Brother Daniel, and myself, we tell you that when we give you these scriptures, or we want you to read and you see what we're talking about, whether it be dealing with marriage or whatever the case may be, go to the scriptures and read for yourself so you can gain a real understanding. Right. Just don't take our word for it. This is not the same thing as a Christian church, which is so many of our people have been led astray because they're sitting in the pews of Pastor Porkchop and they're only reading one verse and they don't read the whole thing. They don't go home and study. They don't do they don't know anything. You're right. You ask the majority of Christians and they'll tell you it's one big gate to get into heaven. They say that because they haven't read the book. It says, "For he shall be like the heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, and in a salt land, and shall not be inhabited." It means that, man, if you're not, if you believe in man, you're destined to fail, right? This is why, like I always say, like we've been saying, the foundation is commandments. "Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is. But he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit." Right? That's what's going to happen. That's like the essential, right? That's the equivalent of you getting a spiritual body. You're going to be able to do whatever you want. You're not going to have to hold back or do anything because of old age or any of that stuff. As long as you remain trusting in the Lord and you have a hope in the Lord. No matter what you see on social media, whatever the case may be, we have to look at the scriptures itself. These things are written for 2,000 years. Still the number one selling book. Still the number one selling book after 2,000 years. Everybody wants to be a part of it, right? Everybody, they've created tons of religions, tons of denominations, things off of our God. You don't think that's suspicious? So it behooves every single one of our people that they must check the book out. They at least got to read it. Read it for yourself and see what's going on, so you can come to the understanding of the truth, right? You can be a light to the blind, and you have a lamp for your own life, and have the fear of God, so you can obtain some knowledge and wisdom, and hopefully we can all get this kingdom together.
Facts. And that, and that's it, Israel. At the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. And always make a goal to at least gain something more in the scriptures, or memorize something more that's in my head. Again, we're not trying to brag or anything like that, but we've been in these scriptures long enough to be able to have a good discernment. And then on top of that, me and Brother Aton has a good foundation. If we were totally separated for some reason, this brother would be just as strong as though if we were together, and vice versa. And that's the way it has to be. You have to really, really build that foundation, and that's key, because the reason why a lot of our people are so lost and confused is because they don't have a foundation. That's why they're following every doctrine of the wind. Because if you don't have a foundation, you'll fall for anything. You'll believe it. That's why so many of our people fell for this whole eclipse. They fell for the the 1619 to 2019, talking about the curses are going to be lifted, and some people still believe that stuff, you know, but it's because they don't have an understanding of what the scripture says. And you just rather follow some man. It's like what Brother Aton read in Jeremiah 17, cursed be the man that makes flesh his right arm or his arm. We're not supposed to be following after no man like that. We're supposed to be testing the spirits. We're supposed to be in this word, you know. But people are going to have to learn the hard way and figure it out for themselves, because there's only so much we can do. We'll give you the tools. We'll give you the tools, and we'll show you how to use the tools. All right, the calendar is one of them. But you, at the end of the day, you have to put the work in. You know, and I had one person, not from this channel, but one person was like, I'm confused by the calendar. And I'm like, just study it, you know. And I said, have you even tried to look at it? No, I just glanced over it. I'm like, well, how are you gonna know if you don't study the precepts? You know what I'm saying? You just look at our people are just looking at the surface of stuff, and they don't even bother to try to dig deep into it. So, you know, that's on them. But with that being said, yeah,
Con. Well, I'm just saying, like the stuff that Brother Daniel and myself, we tell you guys, like this is why we don't get a lot of pushback for anything, because we don't try to create doctrines, you know, try to explain things away that are different from our doctrine. We read the book for what it is, for what it says in there, without mincing words, without trying to, you know, link together some ghost string of scripture to try to have you believe in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, we don't do that, right? The scriptures say that there is no hidden prophecy in here. The scriptures are straightforward, right? You're a homosexual, you're going to die. So we got to teach you, guess what? Don't do that. Yep. We're not going to mince the words and tell you that, oh, you know what, the most he's going to be cool with you, and then he's going to let you slide. No, man. You know, we're going to tell you the truth. You can't have more than one husband. You're going to die, right? The same thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really serious with these scriptures. We're going to tell you what it is. We're not going to mince no words. And that's why, you know, that's why they killed Hamashiach. That's why they killed the disciples so terribly, because they did the same thing. They weren't mincing words. They were telling you what it is, things that they didn't get mad. Remember, old boy was mad because he told him that he couldn't sleep with his sister. No, I mean, he couldn't marry his brother's wife. Right? The scriptures must go out. The truth must be told. You cannot do wickedness. Shabbat shalom, Israel.
Yeah. And that's it. So, hey, look, take what we have, take what the precepts that we give, and go further with it. You know, you don't have to stop where we stop at. You know, that's what we want you to do. We want you to advance in these scriptures. You know, we're not going to always be here advancing these scriptures, and so that you can, because look, what the scripture says in Peter, it says that we must give a hope for the word that's within us. All right. It's going to be a time where we're going to be thrown before courts, and we're going to be this and that. And you better be able to stand bold as a lion in the face of these heathens. If you can't stand bold as a lion in the face of these heathens, then you know you're going to be swayed away like the wind. Just like the parable of the sower. All right, that foundation is key. We're going to keep harping over this foundation. If you build your foundation on the sand and in thorns, you're going to get choked by the world. You're going to fall. You got to build your faith on solid foundation. The stone of Hamashiach. That's what you got to build your foundation on. Anything outside of that is going to come crumbling down. So with that being said, Yasharel, we're gonna wish you unless Brother Aton got something.
Nah, man, that's all out, brother. I'm good to go, man.
All right. So just go back through the other lessons, y'all. And we got, I don't even know how many lessons we got out. We probably got like 100 lessons by now. But just peruse to some of those lessons. You know, we got titles on them, so you can go back to those lessons and study those precepts and everything. So that way, because that's what we do. So we don't have to constantly repeat ourselves. You know, it's already there. You just gotta study it. Take this downtime, this Shabbat, to do that. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna wish you a hearty Shabbat Shalom.
Stay strong, Israel. Stay strong.
Sir.